Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. This is the final part of the Israelites in Petra, Jordan, the city that used to be known at the time of prophets Moses and Harun as Kadesh in Hebrew, which translates almost the exact same word of Quds or holy sanctuary in Arabic. And later on, it was known as the Valley of Bakkah, Mecca, and the Qura, mother of all cities. So let's do a quick review. So first of all, we learned from the Quran, from verse number 27 of chapter 28, that Shu'aib, who was a messenger of Allah and the high priest of that area, recognized the talent in Moses. At that time, Moses was not a prophet of Allah yet, but Shu'aib or Jethro recognized his talent, realized that he's a very trustworthy man. He's talented, educated, very skillful in organizing events, a leader of men. So Shu'aib employed Moses for 10 pilgrimage. What does that mean? The Quran used ta'ajurani thamaniya hijaj. It means that you work for me 10 pilgrimages. It means that Moses became the right hand of Shu'aib or Jethro in organizing pilgrimages, Hajj ceremonies for the people of that region. As I mentioned, it's a huge operation. It's not as easy. You have to think about the logistics, the food, what people eat, the drink, and where do people sleep, and all those details of these caravans and groups that come to that area to perform Hajj. And of course, because Shu'aib was Allah's messenger, he had to be there during every Hajj season. So he basically was the VP or vice president of Shu'aib, helping and organizing these Hajj events back then. So he was a master organizer and event organizer when it came coordinator of Hajj. So he knew the ways, he learned the ways, the paths, and what needs to be done. Then we looked at the book of Exodus. We looked at chapter 5 and chapter 10 of the book of Exodus. We mentioned that when Moses and Harun went to Pharaoh, they told Pharaoh that they want to take the Israelites to perform Hajj in the wilderness. So that was the goal, that they may perform Hajj in the wilderness. We may perform Hajj for the Lord, for Allah, for our Creator. All good names belong to Him. So if you want to say Yahweh, you want to say Elohim, you want to say Ar-Rahman, that's fine. So to perform Hajj for our Creator in His house, Bet Elohim, or house of Allah. Or as Abraham says in the Quran, Inda Baytikal Muharram, at your for sacred house. So Quran uses the exact same term as well. Then very quickly we looked at the word Hajj in Hebrew, which is almost exactly the same word as in Arabic, except for the fact that they pronounce G as G. So in Arabic we say Hajj, but in Egyptian they say Hag. Even as of today in Egyptian Arabic they pronounce G as G. And this was another example we looked at. Again, you can see the word Hag, that in Arabic we say Hajj. After that, we looked at the book of Numbers and we looked at the death of Maryam, and we are talking about older sister of Moses and Harun. Actually, Quran mentions that Maryam as well. So please don't make any mistake. This is not the same Maryam as Maryam, mother of Jesus Christ, right? So that's a different Maryam. This is sister of Moses and Harun. Her name was Maryam, and mother of Jesus Christ, Isa Masih, was also named Maryam after this Maryam. So that Maryam was named after this Maryam. So, and it mentioned that the Israelites came to the wilderness of Zin, and we talked about, and we mentioned within wilderness of Zin there is this city named Kadesh or Quds, or the city that we know today as Petra. We mentioned that the book of Numbers says that the people stayed. It means they lived over there. They lingered over there in Kadesh. That's where they settled down. And then at the end of the 40th year, the Israelites, they set out from Kadesh and they camped at Mount Hor at the edge of the land of Edom. So about 16 miles west, and over there, Prophet Harun passed away. We say that we mentioned that Mount Hor, nowadays, if you go to Jordan, and if you go to the ancient land of Edom or the Edomites, which is the South Jordan, they call it Wadi Musa right now. Jabal Harun, its name has changed to Jabal Harun, is Mount of Harun, Jabal Harun. Even as of now, many people go over there to visit. We looked at the ancient name of Petra. It used to be known as at the time of the prophets Moses and Harun as Kadesh. I mentioned that, which means Quds, which means holy sanctuary, Quds. So this title that that Muslims, current day Muslims, give to the city of Jerusalem as Al-Quds, that's not correct. That title was given by Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. That title of Al-Quds actually belongs to Petra, Jordan, and which was known as Kadesh or Quds, and later on it was known as Mecca or Bakkah. So that's very important. And we looked also at the Hebrew pronunciation of it as well, spelling of it as well. We looked at the book of Deuteronomy. We mentioned that Allah mentions in the book of Deuteronomy 2 that the brothers of the Israelites were the Edomites. Actually, so it says, so we went away from our brothers, the people of Esau, because Esau and Israel were brothers who lived in Seir. And you are, again, one more time, so you are about to pass through the territory of your brothers, the people of Esau. So Israelites' brothers or brethren were the Edomite, according to the Torah. So that's book of Deuteronomy makes it very clear for us. And that's why when you read Deuteronomy 18, it says, Allah says in the Torah that He will choose a prophet from amongst your brothers. Allah is talking to the Israelites as a group. I will choose a prophet from amongst your brothers. Who are the Israelites' brothers? The Edomites. And this is the land of Edom. So it's kind of comes like this. So this part is the land of Edom at the south. So and obviously the promise of Allah was correct. A prophet was sent from Petra, Jordan. Again, I'm trying to make sure you understand that the Mecca, the current Mecca in Saudi Arabia, did not exist. That is a fake city that was established at 700 CE by Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. Has no historical background, no archaeological background, nothing. It's just this city in the desert. It might as well be Las Vegas. So the original Mecca is actually in Petra, Jordan. It's the holy city is Kadesh or Quds. Now let's look at two verses in the Quran. Verse number 58 of chapter 2, it says, and when we said, enter this town, وَإِذْ قُلْنَا ادْخُلُوا هَٰذِهِ الْقَرْيَةَ, this town, which town? Allah is talking here to Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad is in the city of Mecca, is in the city of Quds, in Petra, Jordan. So basically Allah telling him that when we told the Israelites, enter this town, enter Petra, Jordan, or Kadesh, and eat there to your heart's content, wherever you will. So basically, live here and eat here and enjoy what it provides, and enter the gate in prostration. Which gate? I will show you the gate in a moment, but I've shared the pictures previously in another video as well. And say Hetta, so that we forgive your errors. So again, as you can see, Quran says the exact same thing, that Allah commanded the Israelites to settle down and live in Petra, Jordan. Verse 161 of chapter 7 again says the exact same thing. وَإِذْ قِيلَ لَهُمُ اسْكُنُوا هَٰذِهِ الْقَرْيَةَ, and when it was said to them, to who? To the Israelite. اسْكُنُوا هَٰذِهِ الْقَرْيَةَ, it means settle down, settle in this town, just like the Torah told us, that they stayed there in the Kadesh. It means they lingered there, they lived there. So here Allah commands them to settle in this town. So Allah commanded the Israelites that it's time for you to live in this town and eat there from anywhere you like, and say Hitta, we seek your forgiveness. Basically that causes Allah to forgive their sins, and enter the gate prostrating, so that we forgive your errors. So again, as you can see, Torah and the Quran are telling us the exact same message. They complement each other. They give details, further details, and Quran literally in a very short verse tells us the exact same thing that Torah and the Bible told us. And this is the gate that I mentioned. So basically you enter from this gate. It's very wide. Look at how small this person is. Huge gate. This is an ancient gate that has been built, and it has withstood the bombardment of the Mushrikeen, Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, the son of the devil, and his companions, who really changed. Not only their goal was to wipe Kadesh or Quds or Mecca off the face of the earth, but they were not successful. And as you can see, obviously Petra has popped back into the histories, back out, and it's time for this city to rise to its original stature, to its original standing, and it already is one of the 7 wonders of the world. So that tells you a lot about this city. And this is another picture that I want to share with you. Again, you see the gate, and basically here, this is Kaaba. This is the foundation of Kaaba that you see here. It's still standing. So when you're entering the gate, you're facing Kaaba. You're facing directly. These people are directly facing Kaaba. So this is what Allah is talking about, that prostrate. So basically when you're entering, Allah commanded the Israelites to prostrate here towards Kaaba when they enter this gate. And so the walls on top of it has been destroyed. They were destroyed by catapults that the army of Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, who destroyed this city. But technically, this would be just, if it was standing, it would be like a high structure here, and basically very much visible. What we have right now is just the foundation of the Kaaba, and right after that you have Hajj Ismail. That's where Prophet Ishmael and Hagar, his mother, are buried over there. So as you can see, both the Quran and the Torah make it very, very clear. They do not leave any doubt for us, for those who truly believe in the words of our Creator, that the Israelites lived in Petra, Jordan, which was known as Kadesh, and that's where they performed their Hajj and pilgrimage. And that means obviously that the true original Mecca is in Petra, Jordan. And obviously the evidence, the archaeological evidence supports that as well, because all the early mosques in Islam, they were pointing towards Petra, Jordan. And that changed after Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. So we have actually both hard evidence from archaeological studies that has been done, and we also have scriptural evidence that I discussed with you right now. It's just this is like 100%. You should. I am surprised that that people doubt this, and it just amazes me, and it leaves me speechless. Let me just put it that way. But there is absolutely no doubt where the true Mecca, the original Mecca is. What you have in Saudi Arabia right now, in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, again, I don't mean any sort of disrespect to the people of Saudi Arabia, because it was technically the people who did that were Syrian. So Abdul Malik ibn Marwan was half Jordanian, half Syrian. So this is Jordanian and Syrians who did that. It had nothing to do with the people of Saudi Arabia. But they basically, powers to be at that time, they wanted to wipe Petra off the face of the map. So they destroyed it, and then they built another city. Maybe there was a village over there, I don't know, but there was nothing. Nothing significant, and they built the current mosque over there, and which is really a temple to pagan idols. So basically what they did was that they collected the remnants of the pagan idols that were still existing in Jordan and Syria, and they took them over there and just put the head of the idol Allat and they introduced it as Blackstone or Hajar al-Aswad. Basically, Hajar al-Aswad is the head of the idol Allat that they go and kiss. And then there's a pedestal or the base of an idol that they have put over there, and they claim that is the footsteps of Prophet Abraham. Whereas if you look at it, it's quite obvious that it's the pedestal or the base for an idol that they used to put on top of that and worship. And then they have two pieces of a stone that they say it's Safa and Marwa, which has nothing to do with Safa and Marwa. We talked about Safa and Marwa in the Quran, that there are two houses just like Kaaba, and they are still there in Petra, Jordan. They're still pretty much intact. The foundation is completely there. And for Arafat, they couldn't find anything, so they went and found a piece of rock at about 5-6 hours away, and they claimed that is Arafat. That's Mount Arafat. What a joke, really. What a joke. It's just unbelievable. And so they copied it. It's a fake copy. It's a very bad copy. These people really didn't believe in God anymore, didn't believe in, but so it was a joke for them. They just created something. They wanted it to be as far away from Damascus as possible, because Petra, if you look at it, is pretty close to Damascus. And it was a huge problem for them. Petra has a very central location. Whereas they put it down there in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, in the middle of nowhere, so they didn't have to worry about the pilgrims getting together and rebelling against their oppression. So that was the whole goal, and they did that, unfortunately. But Allah, they have a plan, and Allah has a plan. Our Creator has His own plan. Our Creator allowed that to happen because He wanted to keep Kadesh or Quds or Petra or Mecca. He wanted to keep that city clean from the ideological filth of these associators, because their religion is a religion of hearsay. It's a religion of rumors. If you look at the religion of Sunni Islam, current Sunni Islam and current Shia Islam, it's just based on rumors and he said, she said, and he heard from this and who heard from this. It's a religion of nonsense. It's absolutely nonsense, pure nonsense. It's just, you can't even remember what you ate like 2 weeks ago. If I ask you, what did you have for dinner 14 days ago? How many of you can remember what you had? And these people, after 300, 400 years after Prophet, they're trying to document what Prophet said and what Prophet did. I swear to God, I cannot remember what I had for dinner 3 days ago. And most people, if I ask you what you had for dinner 2 weeks ago, most of you will not be able to remember. You're going to make a guess. Now imagine something happened 300 years ago. This is just, and this, the rumor, the nature of the rumor is that it's exaggerated, it's just added to, and all these things. It's a religion of nonsense. It's just, there's nothing good in it. And it's just a religion of revelations, inspirations from the demons and from the devils and from Satan and Lucifer and Iblis. So that's why it's a religious satanic religion, and that's why you see so much oppression, so much injustice in this religion. They oppress women, force hijab on them. Wherever you look at them, they are doing bad things. And what do you expect? Jesus Christ said that a good tree gives good fruit, right? Gives rise to good fruit, and a bad tree gives rise to bad fruit. So you can be a judge yourself. But my goal for this channel is to hopefully cause an awakening, so that these people can wake up. Whoever watches this channel can wake up, God willing, inshallah, and truly purify their religion for our Creator. So that's the goal of this channel. Peace and blessings to all of you.